Welcome to Adam's Athenaeum. Let's take a look together through the news and records of our times as we try to shed light upon the unvarnished truth. Thanks for coming back to check out today's episode. While researching current trending hashtags prior to writing this script, I came across a tag that was trending on Twitter called "Since Trump Left Office." As I suspected, it was filled with lies and propaganda and people who had no idea what they were talking about. So let's talk about it, let's call out the facts, and reveal the unvarnished truth. As I've said before, I hate defending Trump, but too many people are willfully blinded by emotional ignorance to realize what Trump actually accomplished and did for America, especially when you compare it to what our current president is unable to do. So let's have a chat, learn some facts, and have a discussion afterwards. Let's start off with some base successes from each president and see where that takes us. Firstly, according to a website called TrumpWhiteHouse.archives.org, some of Trump's most recognizable achievements or accomplishments were: America gained 7 million new jobs, more than 3 times government experts' projections. Middle-class family income increased nearly $6,000, more than 5 times the gains during the entire previous administration. The unemployment rate reached 3.5%, the lowest in half a century. Achieved 40 months in a row with more job openings than job hirings. More Americans reported being employed than ever before, nearly 160 million. And jobless claims hit a nearly 50-year low. The number of people claiming unemployment insurance as a share of the population hit its lowest on record. Incomes rose in every single metro area in the United States for the first time in nearly 3 decades. Delivered a future of greater promise and opportunity for citizens of all. Now, this was just the first section of the website, where if I were to continue scrolling, there is probably 20 or so, even more pages recounting his successes. So before we delve in too deep and forget Trump's successes, let's go and check out Biden's successes. And according to PolitiFact.com, presidential historians say that Joe Biden's first 100 days in office, a somewhat arbitrary but frequently cited milestone, have included an above-average number of major accomplishments. The 3 biggest developments, experts say, have been the wide-scale coronavirus vaccination program, passage of his $1.9 trillion coronavirus and economic relief bill, and the rejoining of the Paris Climate Accord. Experts also say that Biden has made significant but more intangible changes in tone that contrast sharply with the tensions of Donald Trump's presidency. Let's go ahead and try to compare and contrast these 2 articles for starters. In the Biden article, Politico notes that an accomplishment of Biden was the vaccination program, which, if you remember correctly, the vaccines were created by Trump under Operation Warp Speed. There was already a vaccination program, testing program, and 3 vaccines when Biden entered office. So can he really claim that as an accomplishment? He just continued what his predecessor started. And also, if you remember correctly, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were some of the many politicians and celebrities who swore up and down that they would not take a vaccine created by Trump. Then only a few months later, when Biden took office, he and Kamala mandated that you take the jab. Let's try another one. Politico also cites rejoining the Paris Climate Accord as an accomplishment of Joe Biden's presidency. Let's again think back through Joe's short history as president and recollect what the Paris Climate Accord actually meant for America. Sure, the PCA is meant to be a more green solution for the global market and industries. However, people fail to see that it overregulates American industries, who are already cleaner and greener than the PCA calls for. Yet China, who is the biggest polluter in the world, who is allowed to dump more trash, wasteful materials, and create more CO2 emissions than anywhere else on Earth, is given the green light to create more pollution and not pay any fines or sanctions. So Biden basically said, "We're doing fine. So I'm going to go ahead and decimate our industries further when they're doing nothing wrong, yet I'll let China keep polluting even more than they already do, and we won't worry about the consequences. To all of you eco-friendly folks out there, why aren't you screaming about this? I would have to assume it's because you don't know what's actually happening in politics. You're more or less a sheep, following your favorite celebrity. Joe Biden's accomplishments don't really hold up to scrutiny that well. Let's try MSN.com, since they are more of a left-leaning site, and see if they can lend Biden a hand. As a result of Joe Biden being focused on fulfilling his job responsibilities, he has accomplished hundreds of action items in his first 9 months in office. Here are a few of the items. Joe Biden ended the war in Afghanistan. It was a little messy and rushed and open to Monday morning quarterbacking, but the war and the death of our armed service members has finally ended, which is what both political parties had wanted and promised for years. Well, they're certainly trying to cover for Biden. Where to start? Well, at least they can admit the botched Afghanistan withdrawal was a little messy. But is that really all they can say? They failed to mention that in the war, the last year of the quote-unquote 20-year war, that in the last year of it, no American soldier had died in combat. No American soldier died in combat in Afghanistan until Joe Biden left Americans behind in a withdrawal. He didn't end the war. He ran away from ending the war, with his tail tucked between his legs and ISIS chasing him out. And he left American citizens who, to this day, still remain stranded in Afghanistan. Also from MSN, Joe Biden ordered federal agencies to enact policies to increase the number of affordable homes in America. Yet look at the homelessness crisis we have. Look at Skid Row. Hell, look at your own major cities to see the homelessness spreading out everywhere and enjoying the likes of urban camping. The issue isn't about affordable housing, Joe. It's about being able to afford any living situation, having motivation to want better for yourself, and being able to support yourself and your dreams rather than looking to the government for a free handout. Now, MSN also says, Joe Biden reduced the Donald Trump-supported pay gap between women and men working in the White House and has more women and minorities as part of his cabinet, as well as key advisors, than any other president. Now, I'm not even going to play into the gender pay gap or debate or even argument, as it's already been disproven at least 13 different ways. And I will do a video on that topic soon. Nevertheless, what this says, if you read between the lines and have paid attention to Biden's appointees, the only qualifiers for a position in the White House seems to be your race, sexuality, and how you identify. Basically, Biden is using race above competency, sexuality above applicability, and identification above reason. That is racist and sexist. Alright, last try for MSN.com. Joe Biden implemented a program to make American supply chains less reliant on foreign companies and is working to resolve other supply chain entanglements left by Donald Trump. Here's where I call bullshit. I will argue this until the day I die. What were the gas prices when Trump was in office? Around or under $3 a gallon. Did America produce its own safe and reliable oil under Trump? Yes. Were there supply chain issues that were left unmitigated, or even worse, exacerbated by Trump's policies? No. Biden has cut off our pipelines while authorizing Russia to finish a pipeline that cuts through other European countries. Biden now tries to buy cheap oil from our enemies in Russia and Saudi Arabia, who don't even want to sell to us. And now we have Biden using the strategic national oil reserves to compensate for what he caused, when that oil was meant to be stored for American gas for tanks, planes, and warships. In case America goes to war, we can rely on ourselves and our oil. All right, I give up trying to find practical examples of Biden's accomplishments for you. No, this is not an exhaustive list, as I'm sure Biden has done some small things here and there to be approved of, but he hasn't done anything major or of importance to the nation while in office. I'm going to go ahead and just show some clips of Trump's continued accomplishments according to TrumpWhiteHouse.archives.org. I'm not saying to you specifically watching this video to go and do more research. I'm saying to the broader general public who doesn't want Trump to run for president again because he can be an asshole or say sexist things. This is to those who have Trump derangement syndrome but refuse to condemn Biden's incompetency as president. This is for those who believe everything they see and hear on TV but don't make the time to do the research. I promise that if you dig deeper on Trump, yes, he had his failures too. I'm not denying that or excusing it. For example, I'm still upset that he caused $7 trillion of new debt to be accrued. So I'm not trying to deliberately paint Trump as perfect. We all know he's not. I'm writing this to mildly disprove this fallacy about the world having improved so dramatically since Trump left office and supposedly he brought all the racists and fascists out. By the way, did you know that Biden's presidency is funding and supporting a legitimate swastika-wearing, racially exclusive military brigade in the Ukrainian army called the Azov Brigade? That's the equivalent of letting the KKK or Black Panthers enlist as a separate but included branch of the military. So this video is to show the hypocrisy, the lies, and the fallacy the media tells you. I'm here to tell you, I hate to defend Trump. And I won't do another video like this. But if it's you who have been offended by this video, it was you who needed to hear it the most. That's all I've got for now. If you've got more to share, please do so in the comments, where we can have a civil discussion on today's topic. As always, if you like the work I do, please subscribe and share my video with all your friends and family. I'll see you back here next Thursday as we debunk the gender pay gap.